Peyton and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing some Becca products. We're going to be testing out the Backlight Priming Filter and the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. So this is going to be like a first impressions, try on. I'm going to do half my face with a sponge, half with a brush, and then I'm going to try to do check-ins throughout the day to see how it wears. And so let's get into the video. Okay, so we're gonna start by putting on the primer. Before I start, I should say that Becca gifted me these products. There's no obligation to give a positive review, post about it. I'm not getting paid. They just gifted these two items to me. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little try on first impressions video testing them out. So here is the primer. I love Becca's packaging. Like, I think it's so pretty, and just like the bottles feel so nice. I love them. So I have used this primer before a few times. I got like a sample in a Sephora order, but this was like 5 years ago. Like, I've never actually purchased it and fully added it into a routine. So I honestly don't even remember if I liked this or not. So I'm just gonna put a few pumps. That's what it looks like. It has like a little bit of a shimmer to it. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a glowy primer. It feels honestly just like a heavy moisturizer. I think I will like this. I don't really use primer just because I'm not wearing a ton of foundation lately, but I think this will be a good primer. Okay, so now for the foundation. I got shade Vanilla. I'm really hoping this matches because I wasn't able to like test them and see. This is just looking at swatches online. This is the one that looked closest to me. So let's hope this works. So I'm gonna do this side of my face with a sponge and this side with a brush. So I'm gonna start with the sponge. I'm gonna use the Morphe sponge today. I honestly haven't been using sponges lately. I have just honestly been going in with a brush with just some BB cream just because I have to wear a mask at work. It's just, there's no point of doing like a full face of foundation. I feel like this will be a good match. I have been breaking out a little bit, so we're going to be able to test. I don't know how. Oh, it's ultimate coverage, so I think that's supposed to be, it's pretty full coverage. I mean, looking at this, it looks pretty full coverage, which is good because I've kind of been breaking out a little bit. I mean, honestly, it doesn't even feel like I'm putting anything on my face. I did about half a pump, and then I just did about another half a pump for just this half. It's hard only doing half of your face. It feels weird. Honestly, with a sponge, this feels so good on my skin, and the color actually matches really well. I'm impressed that I picked that out online. Yeah, so you can kind of see looking at my chin, it's like, this is a very full coverage foundation, which is good. I normally, when I'm going for a more full coverage, I just use the It Cosmetics, which that's not even super full coverage, so it's nice to try out a more full coverage one. I still need a little more on these breakouts I have, so we'll see. I'm just gonna do like a few little, see if I can. I might just have to go in with concealer on those. But honestly, I am very impressed with how, with the primer, it just blended right into my skin. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing makeup at all. I'm really impressed with how the sponge applied it. I have a feeling I'm gonna like the sponge more than the brush. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other half with this Morphe brush. This is the Y6 brush. I did about half a pump. I feel like the sponge makes it a little more, it feels a little nicer going on the skin. The brush, it feels like it's not dry, but it feels like it's gonna cake a little more just using a brush. I mean, honestly, looking in this right now, I'm liking this side a lot more. It just looks a little more natural and more dewy, where this side, it just, I don't know why. This side just looks a little different to me. the one with the sponge a little more. I love this foundation. So here, I will say, you might have to put a little bit of concealer on some breakouts. I have a few right there and one right there. But, I mean, it covered everything else. This is the side with the brush. I feel like the primer and the foundation are like a perfect duo together. Like, it feels so good on your skin. And then using like a damp beauty blender with it just makes it even more dewy. Like, I just feel like this side is so luminous and dewy. As of right now, before I've put any other makeup on, I am very impressed with this foundation. So I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup, then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so now that I'm over at my vanity with my mirror with the lights, I can kind of get a better look at the foundation. This side applied so well, and the side I applied with a brush, it kind of clung onto some, I'm not on the tripod, it's probably so shaky. Let me move a little bit. Okay, so this side that I applied with the brush, it's kind of clinging onto like my dry patches, and the side that I used the sponge, it's like, looks perfect. I have no complaints about that. So I think initially I would only apply this with a sponge. That's just my first reaction looking into like my close-up mirror. Okay, I'm watching, ignore my crazy mess, but I'm watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake while I'm getting ready. The show is crazy. I'm from Salt Lake originally, and I feel like this is just like not how Salt Lake is at all. This show is crazy. But let me go into the light. Okay, so I just finished doing my makeup, and I feel like I really do like this foundation. All my other makeup applied really well on top of it. I did go in right after, when I went back and started getting ready, I sprayed my face with a spray and then took the sponge and just kind of blended that in with it. This is a little more of a drier foundation, so if you have really dry skin, you might not love this because it does kind of cling to dry patches. I'm really impressed with the coverage. I think it applied really well, and it was a perfect match. Like, it literally matched my skin perfectly, which honestly never happens. I have the hardest time picking foundation shades. And on the website, it looked like they have lots of shades, so I feel like everybody could find a shade. They have a great shade range. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this foundation. I'll try to remember to do a check-in later tonight, but if I forget, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And if you want to see, and I'll leave all my other makeup details down below, and you can head over to my Instagram to see more of a detailed picture of how the foundation looks. Overall, I think I would highly recommend, if you have oily or combo skin, I think I would highly recommend this foundation. And I really do like the primer as well. I'm gonna try testing out the primer with a few more foundations, and I'll leave like an update in the description of how I end up liking it. If I forget to do an end of the day check-in, I'll leave my thoughts in the description, and I'm gonna try out the primer with my other foundations to see how much I really do like it. But as of right now, I think this is gonna be my new go-to primer and foundation. I think it looks amazing. I am so impressed. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.